and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts, guests, and contributors, and do not reflect the official views of Real TV, its management, or affiliates. Content is provided for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Straight to the point, we not beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From use to drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice. Yeah, straight to the point, we not beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From use to drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice. Current affairs, politics in the air. Social issues we deal.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Cold Fusion. We've all seen and read reports of Ponzi scheme scandals getting exposed. The details always talk about a significant number of people who have lost their savings in these schemes. But even after investigations, arrests, and sentences, new scammers will pop up and keep doing the same thing over and over again. But what exactly is a Ponzi scheme? And what are the signs to look out for? And how can you protect yourself? And what are the biggest Ponzi schemes of all time? You might be surprised to find out that the US government might be running the biggest Ponzi scheme in history, according to some economists. So stay tuned till the end of the episode to learn about that one. Let's get into it.
You are watching Cold Fusion TV.
So first of all, what is a Ponzi scheme? A Ponzi scheme is an investment fraud. The scheme promises high and sometimes quick returns, but in reality, it's just paying off existing investors with funds collected from new investors who have also been fooled by the promise of a quick buck. Ponzi schemes use money from their new investors to pay off old investors while taking a cut for themselves. Since there is no money being earned by selling a product or a service, Ponzi schemes require a constant flow of new money to sustain. Not surprisingly, after a time, it becomes increasingly harder to find new investors, and when that happens, the scheme fails. A Ponzi scheme is not to be confused with a pyramid scheme. A pyramid scheme requires recruitment to bring in more people to increase their returns. A Ponzi scheme may or may not need that. For example, a Ponzi scheme would be something like BitConnect, a fake cryptocurrency that promised huge returns from a mysterious AI trading algorithm. But in reality, it used money from old investors to pay off new investors.
And let me tell you that we are really changing the world as we know it. The world is not anymore the way it used to be. No. BitConnect! Wow!
Thousands of victims swindled out of more than $2 billion may be receiving some justice after one of the leaders of a crypto scheme pleaded guilty.
This is believed to be the biggest cryptocurrency fraud ever charged criminal.
He says this scam, run through a crypto lending program called BitConnect, is believed to have swindled thousands of people around the world out of more than $2 billion worth of Bitcoin.
They claimed that if you traded your Bitcoin for their currency, cryptocurrency called the BitConnect coin, that a trading bot would make sure that you didn't lose any money.
Also offering investors returns as high as 40% per month. But prosecutors say BitConnect actually operated like a Ponzi scheme, using investor funds to repay other BitConnect investors.
A pyramid scheme, on the other hand, relies heavily on recruiting. So something like Metabolife, where members would sell supplements and take a cut of the sales of those who they recruited, forming a pyramid. Now, have you ever wondered why an unusual word like Ponzi is associated with financial fraud? Its name is as such because it's named after a man named Charles Ponzi. So who was Charles Ponzi? Charles Ponzi was a swindler known for starting a scheme of this kind in 1920 in Boston. Charles Ponzi was born in 1882 in Italy. As a young boy, he kept stealing from the church so much that his family got sick of him and deported him to America in 1903. Charles worked in a restaurant as a waiter, but continually shortchanged the customers, keeping the difference, so he was fired. In 1907, he moved to Canada, and because of his skills with numbers, he got employed at a bank. Here, he would forge the signatures of clients and cash their checks. He was caught and spent 3 years in prison. After his release, Charles went back to the US and started up a scheme to smuggle Italian immigrants from Canada to the US. Again, he was caught and jailed for 2 years. This time, when he got out, he went to Boston, and in November of 1919, he came across the idea for his grand scheme. Supposedly, this was achieved by buying discounted postal reply coupons in other countries and redeeming them at face value in the US, where the currency was much stronger. He promised clients a 50% profit within 45 days or 100% profit within 90 days.
In 1907, an international postal congress had agreed to issue postal reply coupons throughout the world. The bearers could redeem these international coupons for postage stamps in their local country.
This was to address a real problem. Immigrants who came to America could afford to buy stamps. The relatives who stayed home could not. So this was a way to allow relatives back home to write back to the family in America.
If you went to a European post office with American dollars and bought postal reply coupons and then brought them to this country and cashed them in, you got U.S. postage many times more valuable than the U.S. money you spent for them. And this was the premise.
Ponzi believed that for every $1 of postal reply coupons purchased, he could earn $5 when he redeemed them for stamps. With a 400% profit from these initial purchases, Ponzi would buy additional coupons and redeem them for even more money. It seemed to be a proposition that couldn't lose.
The only issue with this plan was that Ponzi would need to employ people to line up and collect coupons and stamps, gather them up, and ship them overseas. So this would probably cost more than the money generated from the scheme itself. So, Charles Ponzi decided to buy no coupon stamps at all and just tell people that the scheme would make them rich. Double your money in 3 months. America was booming in 1920, so people were all looking for a quick way to get rich. Wild financial speculation was all the rage, so Ponzi fit right in. He was charismatic and had a gift for talking, so everyone wanted a piece of the pie, and word quickly spread around. Some people would take out their life savings from a bank to invest with Ponzi. But the thing was, Ponzi would actually pay back investors as promised, so the whole thing seemed legitimate and people went crazy. By March of 1920, investors had thrown in $400,000, but Ponzi owed them $600,000 because of the promises of his scheme. Most people trusted him so much that they kept their money in so they could earn even more. Because of this, Charles could always make the payments when they came due. 2 months later in May, investors had thrown in $1.6 million, and by July, this had swelled to $41 million. But at this stage, Charles owed $55 million, and that was the problem. The more money Charles Ponzi received, the more in debt he was. If he promised to double everyone's money, he would just be owing more and more. All of this didn't matter though, as long as everyone didn't want their money out at once. Soon, Ponzi was averaging $3.4 million a day. He bought himself a $7 million home with a heated pool and air conditioning, absolutely unheard of in 1920. He bought the very same shipping firm when he smuggled Italian immigrants, just so he could fire his old boss. Just 6 months ago, he was broke, but now he could have anything he wanted. Massive crowds were growing outside of Ponzi's office, and officials got suspicious. Police were called in to investigate, but after they talked to Charles Ponzi, 2 of the 3 officers ended up investing. In fact, a quarter of Boston's police force were investing with Charles Ponzi. On the 26th of July, a Boston newspaper ran the first critical story of Ponzi. It stated, if Ponzi could make 300% profit for his investors, why does he put his money in the bank where it would only make him 2 or 3%? Why not just invest all the money with himself? It was a good point. And another article stated that the numbers didn't add up. There would have to be 160 million of these coupons circulating to amass such profits. But in reality, there's only about 27,000 of these in the world. And there was also no reports of massive purchases of coupons. When these news articles broke, there was a massive panic. A riot ensued at Ponzi's office. $27 million were withdrawn in 2 days, but Ponzi could afford to pay everyone back, and he did it with a smile while serving people coffee and donuts as they lined up. Nerves were calmed, and people actually reinvested. But it wouldn't last. Government regulators and more bad press came Ponzi's way, the latter of which stated he was completely bankrupt. It started another panic and a rush for people to get all of their money out. Over $200 million had been invested, but Ponzi was short $110 million. Everyone tried to get their money out at once, and he couldn't pay. By August of 1920, it was all over. Ponzi was indicted on 86 counts of fraud, and many investors lost everything. It was a massive lesson for them and us to never just follow the crowd and always do your research before investing. Even though Charles Ponzi got convicted and jailed for his deceit, it did not deter others from coming up with such schemes. So why do people keep falling for it? Almost everyone wants to earn easy money and get rich. In the real world, this usually means that you need to work hard for it, but it's a human tendency to look for shortcuts. But taking shortcuts often leads to trouble, as is with the case with Ponzi schemes.
Straight to the point, we not beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From use to drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice.
You're viewing Real TV. Thanks for choosing us.
You need some cash. You need it now. Without the stress, we'll tell you how.
At JNMB Express Finance, there are no fees on unsecured loans from $2,500 to $75,000. That's a fact. None, not one. No fees, no fuss, no cash. Approval in 24 hours and the funds go direct to your account. Come in or call Jeff today.
Call 2244-JEF.
Hi, I'm Zalisa Budu Singh Rupani, and I'm inviting you to join me for Conversations with Zalisa right here on Real TV. It's not just another talk show, it's a space for real stories, real insight, and real impact. We cover it all: health, law, parenting, relationships, drug and substance abuse, mental health, social issues, and so much more, with expert guests who help bring clarity to life's most important questions. So whether you're looking to be informed, empowered, or simply inspired, this show is for you. Weekdays at 10 a.m. with repeats on Real TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, young people, senior citizens, it is my pleasure and privilege to invite you to look at the program Inspired on Real TV at 2 p.m. every Wednesday afternoon. Inspired is designed to lift your spirits, to help you overcome depression and failure so you could be an outstanding, extraordinary success. We have special experts every Wednesday who will inspire you to do better, to be your best self. So may God bless you. And remember, every Wednesday at 2 p.m., please look out for the program Inspire.
Kids say the funniest things, and sometimes the smartest too.
So kids, if you were Prime Minister for one day, what would you do?
That everybody got a nice vacation I'm going to reach. Happy everybody.
Every episode is packed with honest answers, big imaginations, and moments that will make you laugh, smile, and maybe even learn something new.
So join me, Zalisa, as we discover the world through the eyes of our youngest generation. Conversations with Kids, weekdays at 12 p.m. only on Real TV.
Straight to the point, we not beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From news to drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice. Yeah, straight to the point, we not beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From news to drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice. Current affairs, politics in the air. Social issues, we deal with it fair. No fluff, no filter, we call it how it is. Real TV vibes, what this how we miss. Straight to the point, yeah, the people them speak. Straight to the point, every day of the week. Drama, truth, now the stories we've been. Tune in, let reality sing, yeah. Straight to the point, we don't beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From news to drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice.
Investors may genuinely see it as a promising avenue for investment. Later on in the episode, we'll take a look at some warning signs to watch out for when deciding if an investment is a Ponzi scheme or not. The organisers of this kind of fraud usually target those who have spare money or those who need money. Both are looking for quick and high returns. Usually, the unemployed or those coming from a financially weak background fall prey to these schemes. Essentially, it all boils down to how convincingly the Ponzi organizer can fabricate a story of quick and assured success, playing on the ambitions, dreams, financial situation, and financial literacy of people. Emotions can often overthrow logic, so people end up believing that they're being helped when they're actually being conned. So let's take a look at 5 of the biggest Ponzi schemes in history. Number 1. The $593 million fraud by a minister of Scientology, Reed Slatkin. Reed Slatkin would start his scheme in 1986. He would get people, including some very high-profile names and many other Scientologists, to invest in what was an unlicensed, quote, investment club. He would pay out large sums of money to investors, claiming that his investments were working. But again, in reality, he was just doing that old method of using new investor funds to pay off the old investors. He scammed around 800 investors for more than $593 million across 15 years before being caught. He admitted to fraud in 2002 and was jailed for 14 years. Number 2. The $1.2 billion fraud by Scott Rothstein. Scott Rothstein started inviting investors into his Ponzi scheme. He claimed to purchase highly confidential legal settlements using his law firm.
Rothstein's legal specialty is suing for sexual harassment, a down and dirty game where defendants pay big money to settle lawsuits quickly and quietly. Those are usually paid out over a long period of time. Rothstein used wealthy investors to pay his clients up front, promising the investors a big return on their money over time. In some cases, it was a promise of more than 200%.
I was shown what a confidential settlement agreement looked like, and it had all the information was blacked out. It had the name of the plaintiff, the name of the defendant was blacked out, the attorney was blacked out, everyone was blacked out. He wanted me to invest in something that couldn't be verified. I didn't even know if it was real. In fact, I didn't even think it was real.
The idea is a bonanza, attracting big money players like a modern-day gold rush.
We three kings be stealing the gold.
Scott ran with movie stars, rock stars, Kid Rock, Pam Anderson, athletes, superstars, Dan Marino, Alonzo Mourning, Sarah Palin. There was pictures in his office of him shaking hands with Jeb Bush and George Bush.
From forging documents with judges' signatures to making corrupt law enforcement officers to do his bidding, Scott often went to great lengths to sustain his fraud.
People in the community were always asking, how are they growing so fast? Where's that money come from? And I would always say, I don't know, but not from the practice of law.
We were offered 207% return, and I wanted to see how much money you need to invest to get rich. I calculated if you keep in $150,000 for 13 years, that $150,000 turns into $21 trillion. That's enough to pay off the entire deficit of the United States and have more money beside. He started off with hundreds of thousands of dollars. He had to return millions, then tens of millions, then hundreds of millions. So it had to collapse. There was no way to go forward.
He ran out of funds to pay investors by early 2009. He raised an extra $100 million investment, but that still wasn't enough to keep the scheme afloat. When he knew his time was up, he fled to Morocco, but soon returned to the US and was arrested at that point.
Tempers flare. It's a wrestling match of sorts outside a Florida courtroom. This after Scott Rothstein, who has ties to Rhode Island, pleads guilty to a $1 billion Ponzi scheme.
He pled guilty in court and was sentenced to 50 years in jail in 2010. Number 3. The $3.7 billion fraud by Tom Petters. Businessman Thomas J. Petters was convicted of mail fraud, wire fraud, money laundering and conspiracy for the operation of a $3.7 billion Ponzi scheme. Thomas convinced investors that by putting money into his organization, they would fund the purchase of retail merchandise that would then be sold to discount retailers for a profit. However, no such investments were ever made. The funds were diverted for other purposes, such as paying off those who helped organize the fraud, and also financing Scott's extravagant lifestyle.
This is how Petters was able to manage his scheme at PCI. First, you need to ask yourself, how do stores such as Walmart, Costco, Best Buy, and other big box retailers sell merchandise so cheaply? One answer is found in a little-known industry known as diverting, or supply chain management. In today's market, many retailers do not like to keep a large inventory. Instead, they buy products as they have a need to sell. This concept is called just-in-time retailing. To keep their prices down, they reach out to a middleman. Petters was a master diverter. Here is how his program worked. First, he brought on board investors to finance the deals. Their money was put in a lockbox account for safekeeping. The money was then funneled through a business called Nationwide, where they would buy merchandise from closeouts or stores going out of business in bulk for low prices. Eventually, they were able to buy large lots of inventory directly from the manufacturer. Next, the merchandise was shipped to a warehouse where it was held until a deal could be made where it would be sold at a higher price to a retailer. The retailers would still save money by not having to maintain such large inventories. Ultimately, the money from the investment would go back to Nationwide, where they would take their cut, and the investors' money would be put back into the lockbox, where they would get their return on their investment. This was a very lucrative deal for everyone involved. The problem was, at some point, Petters stopped buying merchandise. The warehouses were empty, and nothing was being sold. All the returns investors were making were coming from the new investors, with Petters taking a cut off the top for himself.
The scam was reported to the authorities by one of his co-conspirators in 2008, and he was arrested soon afterwards. He was convicted in December of 2009 and was sentenced to 50 years in prison. Number 4. The $7 billion fraud by R. Allen Stanford.
Allen Stanford was among the wealthiest men in the U.S. He built a lavish lifestyle from banking and smooth talk. But his slick sales pitch turned out to be a lie. Stanford ran one of the biggest Ponzi schemes in American history. That is until his house of cards collapsed.
R. Allen Stanford, the chairman of Stanford Financial Group, orchestrated a $7 billion fraud by selling certificates of deposits via his company's offshore bank in Antigua. He cheated 30,000 investors from a few dozen countries and pocketed some of the proceeds. He used the money to gamble in business ventures, acquire dubious real estate deals, and even on cricket tournaments.
He got a little bit friendly with the players' wives and girlfriends. We can see some pictures of this. The English player's not particularly pleased. That's Matt Pryor's wife sitting on his knee. And there was just a little bit of disquiet amongst the England players when they saw the behaviour of Sir Allen Stanford with their various wives and girlfriends. The Daily Mail has picked up on this and has that very picture with the England players' fury at Stanford's antics with the wags, turning into an ego-fueled farce, saying that the players were gobsmacked.
Is it fun being a billionaire?
Well, yes. I have to say it is fun being a billionaire, but it's hard work.
But as they say, behind every great fortune is a great crime. Certificates of deposit were Stanford's bread and butter. They were like buying a savings bond, and customers thought they were insured. Stanford became a catchphrase for safe.
So what he did was he went out and sold certificates of deposit to investors. They bought them, he would pay them interest, and he paid the interest from the new investors.
Banks are supposed to take certificate of deposit money and put it in safe investments, getting a small return, which they then use to pay their investors.
Providing investors with a solid return on their investment.
Stanford didn't do that. He used new investors' money to pay the interest to the old investors. In other words, a classic Ponzi scheme.
So a classic, no real underlying investment that's making money. And what he did in the meantime was take money out of the bank and spend it on his lifestyle.
Stanford promised approximately 3% higher returns than similar investments sold by other banks, a profit that made Alan Stanford's certificates of deposit attractive to investors. Stanford said he could promise those higher returns because his bank was run smarter and more efficiently than other banks.
Straight to the point, we not beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From use the drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice.
You're viewing Real TV. Thanks for choosing us.
Looking for all your back-to-school essentials? Well, come on down to Keith Muhammad Books and School Supplies, where we have a wide variety of stationery and stencil supplies. We have wide ranges of textbooks on math, science, and even literature. We also are the sole distributors of the Malaysian publisher Mind to Mind, and have bestsellers Sudoku and Word Search. Visit us at our opening hours and feel our warm hospitality. We are located at number 5 Railway Road, San Juan, and WhatsApp us at 777-7341 for more info.
Behind every mistake, there's a person. And behind every struggle, there's a story waiting to be told. This is Redemption, a road to rehabilitation and recovery, where honesty meets hope and change begins. I am Prem Badri. I was a part of the problem, and now I want to be part of the solution. So join me on Real TV every Thursday at 6 p.m. See you there.
In a world full of noise, choose clarity. The Real News digital publication is your choice for important news coverage. From influential figures shaping our nation to a powerful week in review that keeps you informed. The weekly edition is available for download on all of our social media platforms. Smart, sharp, essential. Real News digital publication. Stay informed, stay educated, stay empowered.
Emancipation is here again. The Kambule Performing Arts Collective invites you to remember and reconnect at Roots and Rights Emancipation Concert on August 5th at Central Bank Auditorium. Witness Freedom Morning Come and the launch of the Songs of Kambule project. Tickets are $200 and available at islandetickets.com and Kambule HQ. Kambule Roots and Rights. Remembering we story, rebuilding we legacy.
No afraid, no woman, no afraid, no woman, no woman, no afraid, no woman, any woman can be taken.
Straight to the point, we not beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From use the drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice. Straight.
Banks are supposed to take certificate of deposit money and put it in safe investments, getting a small return, which they then use to pay their investors.
Providing investors with a solid return on their investment.
Stanford didn't do that. He used new investors' money to pay the interest to the old investors. In other words, a classic Ponzi scheme.
So a classic, no real underlying investment that's making money. And what he did in the meantime was take money out of the bank and spend it on his lifestyle.
Stanford promised approximately 3% higher returns than similar investments sold by other banks, a profit that made Alan Stanford's certificates of deposit attractive to investors. Stanford said he could promise those higher returns because his bank was run smarter and more efficiently than other banks. Employees were not supposed to ask too many questions about where the money was invested.
People say, how in the world has this business of yours grown, Alan? I say, well, simply because we do things differently. Many times we do them the way they used to do them 20 years ago.
But at least one employee, Charles Hazlitt, did start asking questions.
In fact, every time I brought up anything in meetings, everybody was looked at me very shocked.
But do you think people didn't ask questions because the money kept flowing?
Sure, a blind ignorance. Very, very fancy. I didn't see any substance. I talked to the manager of the bank. He didn't seem to know a lot about banking in general.
On being arrested, Stanford denied all 14 allegations. In March 2011, he was convicted on 13 of 14 counts and was sentenced to 11 years in prison.
And a U.S. judge called Alan Stanford's operation one of the most egregious criminal frauds ever presented to a trial jury in federal court. His arrest meant the end of almost 2 decades of illegal financial activity.
Number 5. The $20 billion fraud by Bernie Madoff. Bernie Madoff was the organizer of the largest realized Ponzi scheme in history. As former chairman of the Nasdaq stock market and his squeaky clean image of an investment guru, he attracted several high-profile clients such as film director Steven Spielberg. But his fraudulent investments were exposed in 2008. His Ponzi scheme wiped out people's fortunes, and more than 15,400 claims were filed against him. He became so hated that he had to wear a bulletproof vest to court. In March of 2009, Madoff pled guilty to the charges, and the courts stripped him and his wife of their wealth. He was sentenced to jail for 150 years, where he passed away in April of 2021. If you want to see the full story on Bernie Madoff, you can check out the Cold Fusion episode on him. Okay, I said I'd say 5, but here's a bonus one. Number 6. The entire US Federal Reserve System. According to some economists, the entire US Federal Reserve System is a Ponzi scheme. Here's the oversimplified version. The United States has a huge national debt which is owed to foreign countries such as China and Japan. These countries and other investors loan the US government money in exchange for a stable return. These debts are short-term debts, so the US government has to pay back these investors trillions yearly. Currently, the United States can't pay because they don't produce and export enough goods to support their spending. So, whenever the debt expires, the government either creates more money through the Federal Reserve or borrows more money from new investors to pay off the old debt. In essence, they're borrowing money from new investors to pay off the old investors, just like Bernie Madoff. In fact, in jail, Bernie Madoff even said the US government is running the biggest Ponzi scheme on earth, and he would know a Ponzi scheme if he sees one. He's not the only one though. Michael Snyder wrote, "The Fed is the biggest Ponzi scheme in the history of the world, and if the American people truly understood how it really works, they would be screaming for it to be abolished immediately." And Michael Lombard stated, quote, "Right now, we are seeing the government hoping investors would keep reinvesting in US bonds while the Fed picks up the slack. But what happens if they say, we want our money back? It would make Madoff's Ponzi scheme look like a joke." So, you can take that for what you will. So in wrapping up, what are the signs to watch out for to avoid Ponzi schemes? To avoid falling victim, people should always watch out for returns that seem too good to be true. A promise of high returns with minimal risk is a sure red flag. Such investments just don't exist. Usually, with high returns, you should see high risk. Another red flag could be the consistency of returns. Investments are linked to market conditions, and that should affect the returns that they bring. If a scheme promises consistent high returns without being affected by market conditions, there's a good chance that it could be a Ponzi scheme. As technology evolves, there's going to be new forms of the same old trick. Fake cryptocurrencies are the new flavor of the decade so far, and the reason being is that they're poorly understood by many. Very recently, some large YouTubers had taken part in a scam called Save the Children coin, a coin which promised to help kids in need, but also was promised to go up in value. The scheme promised to go to the moon, but in reality it just crashed. Those who had the knowledge that the whole thing was a scam got out immediately with a bunch of money, and everyone else lost everything, so be careful out there. If you're curious and want to see more on the Save the Children coin, the YouTube channel CoffeeZilla did a great series on it. Before we continue, I just want to give a quick shout out to today's sponsor.
To the point we not beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From use the drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice. Current affairs, politics in the air. Social issues, we deal with it fair. No fluff, no filter, we call it how it is. Real TV vibes, what this how we biz. Straight to the point, yeah, the people them speak. Straight to the point, every day of the week. Drama, truth, now the stories we've been. Tune in, let reality sing, yeah. Straight to the point, we not beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From use to drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice. Straight to the point, we not beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From use to drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice. Yeah, straight to the point, we not beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From use to drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice. Current affairs, politics in the air. Social issues, we deal with it fair. No fluff, no filter, we call it how it is. Real TV vibes, what this how we biz. Straight to the point, get the people them speak. Straight to the point, every day of the week. Drama, truth, now the stories we've been. Tune in, let reality sing, yeah. Straight to the point, we not beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From use to drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice. Straight to the point, we not beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From use to drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice. Yeah, straight to the point, we not beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From use to drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice. Current affairs, politics in the air. Social issues, we deal with it fair. No fluff, no filter, we call it how it is. Real TV vibes, what this how we biz. Straight to the point, get the people them speak. Straight to the point, every day of the week. Drama, truth, now the stories we've been. Tune in, let reality sing, yeah. Straight to the point, we not beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From use to drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice. Straight to the point, we not beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From use to drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice. Yeah, straight to the point, we not beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From use to drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice. Current affairs, politics in the air. Social issues, we deal with it fair. No fluff, no filter, we call it how it is. Real TV vibes, what this how we biz. Straight to the point, get the people them speak. Straight to the point, every day of the week. Drama, truth, now the stories we've been. Tune in, let reality sing, yeah. Straight to the point, we not beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From use to drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice. Straight to the point, we not beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From use to drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice. Yeah, straight to the point, we not beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From use to drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice. Current affairs, politics in the air. Social issues, we deal with it fair. No fluff, no filter, we call it how it is. Real TV vibes, what this how we biz. Straight to the point, get the people them.
You're viewing Real TV. Thanks for choosing us.
Join us on Real TV for Highlights with Alan Ferguson, a program where we aim to level the playing field through meaningful conversation and real action. We highlight the positive developments happening within communities across Trinidad and Tobago, while also addressing the concerns and challenges affecting government agencies and everyday citizens. Tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 p.m., only on Real TV.
The Ambassador's Daughter, weekdays at 11 a.m., only on Real TV.
I am Walter Stewart, President of the Trinidad and Tobago National Council of Parent-Teacher Associations Incorporated. Join us every Thursday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Real TV, where we look at NPTA Speaks, National Parent-Teacher Association Speaks, on topical and relevant issues pertaining to parents, teachers, education, and students of Trinidad and Tobago. This, of course, encapsulates local, regional, and international audiences every Thursday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Real TV, NPTA Speaks.
Kids say the funniest things, and sometimes the smartest too.
So kids, if you were Prime Minister for one day, what would you do?
That everybody got a light location I'm going to reach. Have everybody.
Every episode is packed with honest answers, big imaginations, and moments that will make you laugh, smile, and maybe even learn something new.
So join me, Zelisa, as we discover the world through the eyes of our youngest generation. Conversations with Kids, weekdays at 12 p.m., only on Real TV.
Straight to the point, we not beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From use to drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice. Yeah, straight to the point, we not beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From use to drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice. Current affairs, politics in the air. Social issues, we deal with it fair. No fluff, no filter, we call it how it is. Real TV vibes, what this how we be. Straight to the point, get the people them speak. Straight to the point, every day out the week. Drama, truth, now the stories we've been. Tune in, let reality sing ya. Straight to the point, we not beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From use to drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice. Straight to the point, we not beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From use to drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice. Yeah, straight to the point, we not beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From use to drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice. Current affairs, politics in the air. Social issues, we deal with it fair. No fluff, no filter, we call it how it is. Real TV vibes, what this how we be. Straight to the point, get the people them speak. Straight to the point, every day out the week.
Join us on Real TV for Highlights with Alan Ferguson, a program where we aim to level the playing field through meaningful conversation and real action. We highlight the positive developments happening within communities across Trinidad and Tobago, while also addressing the concerns and challenges affecting government agencies and everyday citizens. Tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 p.m., only on Real TV.
The Ambassador's Daughter, weekdays at 11 a.m., only on Real TV.
I am Walter Stewart, President of the Trinidad and Tobago National Council of Parent-Teacher Associations Incorporated. Join us every Thursday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Real TV, where we look at NPTA Speaks, National Parent-Teacher Association Speaks, on topical and relevant issues pertaining to parents, teachers, education, and students of Trinidad and Tobago. This, of course, encapsulates local, regional, and international audiences every Thursday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Real TV, NPTA Speaks.
Kids say the funniest things, and sometimes the smartest too.
So kids, if you were Prime Minister for one day, what would you do?
That everybody got a light location I'm going to reach. Have the everybody. When the German walk out.
Every episode is packed with honest answers, big imaginations, and moments that will make you laugh, smile, and maybe even learn something new.
So join me, Zelisa, as we discover the world through the eyes of our youngest generation. Conversations with Kids, weekdays at 12 p.m., only on Real TV. You're viewing Real TV. Thanks for choosing us.
Join us on Real TV for Highlights with Alan Ferguson, a program where we aim to level the playing field through meaningful conversation and real action. We highlight the positive developments happening within communities across Trinidad and Tobago, while also addressing the concerns and challenges affecting government agencies and everyday citizens. Tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 p.m., only on Real TV.
The Ambassador's Daughter, weekdays at 11 a.m., only on Real TV.
I am Walter Stewart, President of the Trinidad and Tobago National Council of Parent-Teacher Associations Incorporated. Join us every Thursday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Real TV, where we look at NPTA Speaks, National Parent-Teacher Association Speaks, on topical and relevant issues pertaining to parents, teachers, education, and students of Trinidad and Tobago. This, of course, encapsulates local, regional, and international audiences every Thursday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Real TV, NPTA Speaks.
Kids say the funniest things, and sometimes the smartest too.
So kids, if you were Prime Minister for one day, what would you do?
That everybody got a light location I'm going to reach. Have the everybody. When the German walk out.
Every episode is packed with honest answers, big imaginations, and moments that will make you laugh, smile, and maybe even learn something new.
So join me, Zelisa, as we discover the world through the eyes of our youngest generation. Conversations with Kids, weekdays at 12 p.m. only on Real TV. You're viewing Real TV. Thanks for choosing us.
Truth, now the stories we've been tuning, let reality sing ya. Straight to the point, we don't beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From news to drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice. Straight to the point, we not beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From news to drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice.
I want to say good afternoon and welcome to all of you that is you're on the inside with us, wherever you are right now at this very moment in time. I want to say good afternoon and welcome. Now, thing about it is that journalism and investigative journalism is very important. And I want to deal with some things today. I'm in a nice mood. All I like my jersey? Eh? I tell her that I here to stay. What's that jersey? Nice like a pie on the inside. And what's that? When I them in the back this so. Yeah. Don't worry. I'll give all my thieving staff now, all my criminal staff that this man allegedly says. I'll give them one. I want to have that discussion today, and I want you all to do me a favor. Those of you all that are on the live, I want you all to join in. What I want to do, Robert, I'm going to send a request. We may not be able to go directly live. Oh, this turned blue so. What we're going to do? That's everywhere? Let's make sure. You know, every time I say I want to turn up the scheme, you know, things that start to happen. Yeah, that's everywhere. Something with the hue or something like that. Yeah, we looking blue. But you know, it reminds me, blue, God loves you. They may not love Daniel though. While you're working on that, director, I also want to just check the TikTok. Oh no. It tell me I can't even join our live. Wow. So yeah, what I want you all to do for me. I want you all to share the lives that are up right now. I'm live on my personal Daily Voice on TikTok. I'm live on Facebook. TT Straight to the Point. The devil busy. But the devil can be more busier than me. How about that? The devil cannot be more busier than me. Yeah, look at it come back there, you know, wait. Yeah, it just come back. Yeah, it come back. All right. Now, having, you know, I need to say this, eh? I left this Straight to the Point phone I left it in the office. I want to congratulate everybody that on a daily basis joins us to give information. Information is most important. Information is most important. If we don't have information, We can't continue to do the things and the job that we're doing. I know you all see me coming a little tardy. And it's not that I wasn't here. But I just came off of a very important phone call. And this phone call, how are you two for me, Robbie? Just put a little bit of me in my ears. So that will be on the auxiliary. Right? A little bit more. Yeah. On my mic itself, right? So on my mic line. On my line itself on the auxiliary. Right? Take off your mic for a second. Let me just see. Switch off your mic. Just switch on your mic itself. You name it. Right. Yeah. Give me a little bit more again. Right. Beautiful. Be good right there. Nice. You can put back on your thing or whatever. I need that. I need that. Because today is a day that I've been... Now, while I stand here before you all, I have a lancing pain right here. I have a lancing pain here. I know some of you may say it's obia. I know some of you believe it because it is obia. But it's not obia. It's just a toothache. It's just a toothache. But I've realized I didn't come on here yesterday because of this toothache. I'm here today and I'm fighting it. And I've realized that the mission of moving the goalposts. Are you touching up yourself so? You're stressed. Remember they say use eyes your boss, eh? That's what they put on the media. Your eyes on their boss, boy. Everybody was on their boss. Lord Father. I'm going to make a nice Voodoo singing. You invite sir? Dale Voodoo sing. Yeah, man. I have a Voodoo sing jacket here. All right. Let's play with me. What's up this jacket, man? I want you all to join in on the live because I want us to stay focused today. And I'm really upset that I can't go live on this shit to the point. TikTok. I real vex. Because moving the goalposts is becoming a thing. How long the video is from how long the video from where he went live? I saw my boy went live and he started to talk about my little man boobs and resembling them to Lady Lava. And he started to make all kind of different things and distraction. Then he posts up on the internet that my staff, that I have a specific member of staff who's a big thief. Right? Woohoo! I need it. He posts up and say that to try to distract the people that my staff, I move in with big thief. And at first I say, you know, it didn't bother me. Because one, I don't have staff. Two, the people that roll with me are people that I trust. Three, if I roll in with big thief, it's to catch a bigger thief. Because a thief will think like a thief, right? And when you use a thief to catch a thief, you're sure going to be successful. You know this, you remember this crime show they had where they had this con man who was catching men, working with the police to catch the people and them because, you know, putting cases together because he thinks like them. So, hear what I say, and I want you all to jump in on the live. Share the live. For those of you all, if your internet get in trouble, go on the Digicel. Go 32 Green Dot 26, A-Link 25, Amplia 116. If your internet ain't good, we on cable TV. Or you're not on the social media, jump on the Tego app. And for those of you all CSTV in Canada. So, you willfully went on social media to defame the character of somebody that works with you. And your informant, who would have given you that information, who I want to say today, lives in Valencia. Good afternoon to you, ma'am. What I want to tell, let me start with the young lady first. I don't think you really, you see when you come in, whoever you want to come for because of whatever, all you have, don't involve my name, don't involve my brand, don't involve my showing it. Because I'll come for you like it's me. Let me repeat myself again. Because I know you don't like me, you know. For whatever reason, I know you don't like me. But you don't have to like me. Because in the first place, you and I never had anything. But you have a problem with the individual in question. And you've seen where you're going to now try to use an opportunity or a moment, and you're capitalizing on that. But you're bringing in my good name and character. You're bringing in my brand, involved in your stupid thing. For what? Revenge? For what? I just want you to know that you're looking stupid to it. Because never in a day or in a million years could you ever be me. Or let me say it like this. Never in a million years could you ever outdo me. You have no class. You have no talent. You're dry on every level. Nobody wants to see you. They don't want to hear you. I dare you, and I'm telling you this on national television. I dare you. The next time you pull a stunt like that, I'll be outside your establishment. Take that however you want. You can screen grab that and carry it to the police. The next time that you pull a stunt like that, I will expose you. I will be in front of your establishment and I will expose you. I will expose your fake profile and I will expose your modus operandi. And I don't think that you want the general public to know why you was doing what you was doing. Because, you see, I wouldn't bother to sue you. And here why? You have no money. You live in day to day. You could barely run your own business. Oh, I should not say that. Right, okay. But you're so sad you take time out of your day to go on an next man post, to attack a next man. If you have like the man, just say like the man, he might have like you back, he might have add you to the catalog, you never know. You might have gave one of the children to, you understand, gave a child. I don't know if that is what it is going on with you. But don't make that mistake again. You hear what I'm saying, eh? I don't want to call the fake profile name. If I had a call name, I'll call the real name. Because how could you go in a public forum? You like that man so bad. You want the man back. I don't know what it is all you had. I don't know. And I'm not asking because I don't care. What I care about is the fact that you've taken time out of your busy day to say, let me read what it is she said. But straight to the point, have a big thief working for him. And he not putting him up. He needs to investigate his worker. The amount of money he stole from past employers, he borrowed people money and refused to pay. He used to work as a security guard until Dale hired him. Can't live in God's house and working with a big, educated, smooth-talking thief. And I thought you knew better. Because you fully well know, I never hired the man. You fully well know I came into the building and he was already here. So how could I hire somebody that has already been hired? He here long before, straight to the point, even born. But it's bacchanal you like. It's bacchanal you want to create. And I'm not interested in clearing the air. Because I have no air to clear. There's no air to clear. There's no point to prove. Because you gone by a canal, ooh, no deal. By that. You gone by a piper police on a piper police life, stealing people's money, and you going to opportunize on that. And imagine he screenshot that, put that back on his profile, and you know what people were doing? You big stupid fool. People were still asking him, man, all right, all of that small talk you on, what going on with the people's money? So how you feel, Miss Valencia? I'll call you Miss Valencia. How you feeling, Miss Valencia? Don't play with me. And this will be the only, first, and final warning. I'm telling you. Because I don't deal with the messy games. And I am not that person to be afraid to deal with anybody and anything. And you know what? The scripture say, he who have sinned cast the first stone. He without sin cast the first stone. You sure your sin's good? You sure you're sinless? You sure you want... Let me tell you, I will defend the people that are around me, you know. And you know something? Me ain't saying that man innocent. I ain't saying he guilty either, you know. Or he not guilty, you know. But you know something? We just all do stupidness in my life. What stupidness you do? But you know what? I'll tell you this. That, what you claim there, and that information and the facts that you've given in a public forum is unfactual, it's untrue, it's libellous, it's defamatorious. It not just only interferes with the individual in question, but it interferes with my brand. And I want to tell you this. My team of investigators have already done an IP trace on that account, and I know it's you. And I have the evidence to prove that. So you know what I'm going to do? Your move. And I do bluff. your move. My team of investigators don't be in Trinidad. I work with people from all in Venezuela. I have a team of people that work with me in Venezuela. The last person that issued me a death threat, and they sent me a death threat. And I called my people and I said, this is what's going on. This is where it came from. They immediately went into action. And in less than 20 minutes, we found the exact perpetrator of who it was, who was behind it, where they were. They were able to monitor their exact movements. I'm going to give you a hint. The person at that point in time was up in O'Mara side. And the individual in question was a police officer that I put up a time back who was scamming people. And this person sent me all manner of messages about my family and what they will do and all these different things, and I'm not afraid. Ask my crew. They'll tell you. I'm not afraid. The only thing I care about is preserving their safety when they are out with me. But I'm not afraid. And I want to give you all now the synopsis of when I arrived at Mr. Island Platter's place. When we arrived at Daniel's Island Platter the second day around, upon our arrival, Daniel was outside serving people food. He served a woman. Based on her age or how she looked, she taste buds gone already. She taste buds in retirement. So she just needed something on her stomach. I just hoping that she didn't get a diarrhea or anything like that. He was so unfocused when the vehicle pulled up in front of the business place. He started to get tizzy. What Daniel didn't know, he was so focused on a van, he wasn't focused on my security detail. So he come outside, and at that point in time, my detail told me that they would have secured a spot on the other side because we like to be law-abiding citizens. TV, no TV, we like to abide by the law. They said, Dale, I find it was a little too close to the corner, so move from there. So I move. This is Daniel's place here. Daniel left his place, walk out like if he going up to Arima Velodrome, which is down the road, the corner. So while we're making this spin, we're talking in the vehicle. Also had an informant with me as well, your big Triple D. And it was brought to my attention, and I saw Daniel on the corner with the phone recording, way past where he is. Leave the place unattended. And we continued driving. I did not even have time to reply to him, put on no glass, no fancy thing, because I sure about myself. While we're talking, more receipts coming from Island Platter. So we pull up, and then if I mistelling the story, you could correct me, director, because you was on site. And when we pull up the vehicle now, I want Daniel to understand, I don't play for slips out here, you know. When they talk about straight to the point, you all feel that it's just a TV show. It's not a TV show, you know. We just get straight to the point, and we don't play for slips. My security detail was already deployed. Top, bottom, across the road, upstairs. I'm telling you, because I want to show you, I don't afraid you. And you must tell the truth on the media. You must tell the truth. Don't go out there and say, oh, I played bad and I am. What he say? I played bad and come up by the platter and thing, and you tell me you go burn my skin. At no given time, ladies and gentlemen, did WPC Daniel Dalrymple told me he was going to burn my skin, because we had the entire conversation recorded. I want to tell the nation, I cuss him like a dog. Did I curse him like a dog? I curse him like a dog. So after that, I sat in the vehicle. And I want you all to pay very close attention to this. Pay very close attention to this. While I sat into the van, he's on his phone, he walking back and forth, by people laughing at this man. My security detail and all say, but why that man getting on so? I thought he big and he bad and he this and he that and this, and we laughing in the van. Up to now, just check the TikTok here, because some people saying the audio crackling, so let's fix that and make sure. Up to now, those of you all that are on the TikTok, just let me know if it is, it's better. Some people saying it crackling. Yeah, this is what's going on here. Just let me know if it is, it's better. What's causing that? We must see. We have to make sure it be on point today. Up to now. Right, so Facebook is good, so something within the app in TikTok. So let's fix that. All you good now on TikTok? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Right. Trumana say it's ease up, prolific, say crackling, bad, or let me see. Just let me know. I know that you all would be now hearing. Yeah, well, it's ease up on my phone, so I could go ahead with story time. So while we pull up, and I want Daniel to understand this, I think, I warned him before, you know. I had a conversation with this young man on the phone for about 30 minutes. And I told him, I don't like people lying to me. I don't like people taking me for a clown or a fool. And you know what he did? He tried to bamboozle me and he said, well, take down the post now and I'll pay the people and them on Saturday. Saturday, it come, it gone, never get paid. He tell the woman Wednesday. The woman call him. He didn't answer. He come back and then tell she Saturday. Saturday come, he didn't answer his phone. Get the videos ready for me. You know. I want to send it. Should I play the movie for them? Because Daniel is on social media, he's on TikTok, and he's making people feel like I just driving around in a van, around a Rima. I'm not on that with you. Because I never came out of the vehicle. I never had a conversation with you. I didn't come here to you, pink and black thing to drink. The little shop next door. The shop on the next side. Upstairs. I don't have time with you. I already called you for what you are. And he's a scammer. He's a old thief. He's a old bandit. But I want to send a warning to police officers who... I'm going to fix my little thing here. Right. I want to send a warning to police officers who enable this young man in his stupidness. Let me tell you what happened. So while we pull up there and we're waiting, he's on his phone and he's going back and forth. And near the phone, he walking outside, he watching, he think, he peep around the corner, he come back, he watching, and some little imps in the area right in the bar is informing him activity in the van. But they didn't see no activity. They just seen a van sitting. Lo and behold, a police vehicle pulls up in front of our vehicle. And when the police vehicle pulls up, at the same timing, Daniel walks down to the corner. We have all of that on footage. We have all of that on footage. The reason why I wouldn't put that up is because it's going to cause more bacchanal. Because the information I have, but I want to send a warning to these police officers. Because I'll make you all lose your work. Promise, if you'll continue. You know they say give men a chance. I'll give you a chance. Or the song, would you give me a try? So I'm pretending like all you're telling me, and I'll extend that olive branch. But don't make that mistake twice. Daniel called a police officer who was on duty driving a police vehicle. I'm talking about Island Plata, for those of you all that don't know what I'm talking about. Driving a police vehicle, pull up there because they were on patrol. The police station have no record, E99 have no record of anybody calling, either under distress, either asking for police presence, either saying that they was under pressure, either saying they were feeling intimidated. The police have no record of this police vehicle pulling up. But the officers pulled up. Daniel pulled in because remember, Daniel is a police officer. So he called one of his friends and them because he works at Rima. He used to work at, well, he on leave. His anus leaking since last year, so he's on extended leave. So he called the police to come. So the police officer walks up to him and he starts. This is how we talking, eh? I wish I prepared footage. I would have blow the vehicle, blow the police officer, just for them to see Daniel's actions. All I really don't care, you know. But I'll interfere with people's families. So I would keep it, I'll relax. So Daniel is talking to the police and the policeman thing. Then the policeman goes to the back of the vehicle, pulls out the clipboard, and he starts to write. And the policeman taking notes. Now the other officer listened to what Daniel said and he just walk away because he like, not me today, Jesus. He was busy studying the Eagle Police Service, Eagle Landing or whatever. He was studying Eagle or studying to go online by First Citizens Bank. All this time I haven't come out to the vehicle yet. Eh? And while that is happening, I have such an efficient team. Phone calls were being made to inquire about if there was an E99 call or whatever the case may be. Which everything came back to there was no call. This was a personal favor. So then the officer walked up to my vehicle and he signaled like this. Daniel didn't even know if it is I was in the vehicle or not. He would have just gotten information from, again, one of the little plebs and them who pushing in Arima. And they would tell him, by yesterday, that men and them come and make a scene in front of the place, and there you were going. So when the police officer did this and put on the glass, that officer could tell you, I greeted him by calling him by his name. Didn't I not, Director? You know why? Yes, because that is how fast. That is how fast we get information. So, when I told him his name, what did he do, Director? When I told him his name, I said, how you going? And I called him by his last name.
He started to smile.
He started to smile. But that smile wasn't no ordinary smile, innit?
Truly.
That smile was what I get myself into today.
How you know my name?
Jesus, how you know my name?
Yeah.
Remember, this happened in real time, you know. When I go out on the field, there are people that have my back. I don't go out there by myself. And I go out with well-trained people. I just let you know. My camera crew, I should tell them. I don't go out there for slips in her. Even my cameraman does be ready when it is, if anything had to pop off. Because they are also part of my security detail. If you didn't know, now you know. Yeah. Just in case anybody wants to plan for me now. I'm trying to make the work a little easier for you.
That's right.
Right? My cameraman carries. Let me put it like that. Karen Belfort, you didn't know that, but now you know. If you probably profile the man properly, you would have probably see at that point in time. But I don't move for slips. And I move with God on top of that. So you see between that,
yeah,
it had nothing that could scare me. So, oh God, I got reach there because the man who he referring to, DJ Drea, is not my cameraman. The man who he referring to was not even there that day. But the girl from down in Valencia,
yeah,
who have a crush on the man who working at Real TV, want to make a scene, and she decide this is a perfect opportunity to do so. She hasn't presented any facts to Daniel. Daniel see that and say, oh la la.
Yeah. That
and
distraction.
Distraction. To take people's mind off of the truth. Watch now. I have a mark to bus, but I can't bus it yet. I have to wait. And I vex it. I real vex it. But when I drop this story for you all, and it's pertaining to Daniel and Island Platter, you know, and I'll do that on Tuesday. I'll drop that story. And I'll show you how nasty and how advantageous you are. Imagine you in cadets. You know Daniel was a cadets officer? An officer in cadets? But I tell you, when I tell you I have information in Daniel and he jockey. I like to tell you how much information I have. I have him from when he was in jockey, go right up. My power is knowledge. So you go up on the media and put up video and put in the background and say, my man boobs bigger than Lady Lava own and feel like that's going to do me something. Like I go in and sit down in a corner and cry. It don't matter. Things I know about myself, my teeth yellow, I have a little thoughts. And what? You still a scammer, you still a thief. You know what it is we want to know? When you give the people back their money. But then you know something? He don't have intentions of giving back the money. You want to know why? Because Island Platter is not a registered business. Island Platter is not a legally registered entity in Trinidad and Tobago. Island Platter does not exist, the big businessman that he is. Daniel Dalrymple is not a licensed moneylender. So when he went on the media and said that he has a pool of business people, you all remember that video? He went on the media and said, you have a pool of business people. And when you all put the money into the investment pool, that money is dipped into to give the business people. The business people will give him back the money with interest. And when you lend money to return with interest, what are you doing? Not lending, money lending. And if you're money lending, you need a license for that. Especially on a big scale. But you're telling people, if you give me 5,000, I'll give you 10. If you give me 20,000, I'll give you 40. And you believe people have been giving this man 10,000, 15,000, 5,000, 4,000. And the reason why Daniel would not want to throw people off is because he finds I'm getting too close. He finds that I'm getting too much information. So you know what? Instead of answering the question, how is it after promising to pay somebody in 14 days since last year, 2025, how is it now that we've reached a point where people are begging you for their money? and 20 and 14 days pass. Weeks upon weeks, every day you're telling them Wednesday, Saturday. Since I went by Daniel, Daniel has not opened his business place since. People have been passing. First this thing going, and it's going to go viral. People passing and sending us videos on our Straight to the Point hotline and on our pages, and they videotaping and say, hey, Daily ain't open today, and they're passing with the gates closed. Somebody tell me they said they see 2 big rats running there last night. I say, you sure it wasn't Daniel went in to check up on the business? They said, no, Dale, we see 2 big rats. I am sure it's 2. I'm sure one of them was Daniel. But let me give you facts. Fact is, number 1, there is no possible way that Daniel is able to give you 100% of your profit, 100% of your investment. Fact number 2, the reason that Daniel, I will bust piece of the mark. Majority of y'all who have been a part of this island platter scenario, all of y'all, a majority of y'all, 90% of y'all would have done an online bank transfer. In doing this online bank transfer, none of those bank transfers were in the name of Daniel Dalrymple. Those bank transfers were made to a person, Ms. Rivers Antwine. I want to tell the national public something today. Daniel is a nasty fella, boy. You're a wicked young man, boy. And I wouldn't rest. I'm telling you this. And I tell you that on the phone, you know. But I tell you on national TV for everybody to hear as well. I wouldn't rest. I wouldn't rest where you is concerned. I wouldn't rest where you are concerned, boy. So hear what I'm saying. And I'm telling people this, and I don't want for you all to, your feelings to be hurt, eh? I don't want all your feelings to be hurt, eh? But Daniel have no money. Never hurt all your feelings again. Daniel was never given any of all your money back. Didn't have intentions to, didn't care to. Let me tell you what his plan was. Daniel's plan was to make you all believe, by painting this picture on social media, that he is such of a successful businessman and that the island platter is so successful that he will be taking your monies and you all will be investing with him and his business, and that you all would reap profits. When it started, there were 1 or 2 people that Daniel would have paid. Because when it started like a Ponzi scheme, and that's why I started the show playing the Ponzi scheme video. So you can understand the difference between a pyramid scheme and a Ponzi scheme. A pyramid scheme needs you to bring a person. A Ponzi scheme does not need that to happen. And what Daniel has been doing in his Ponzi scheme is that each one pay the one before. But he was getting tied up with spending the actual money, paying rent, buying the goods, because you need to at least put out some food and things to make it look good. Do you all remember there was a time Daniel went on social media and said he locked up his business and came back the next day to see it was broken in 2, and persons took $20,000 in cash. at his place. And he went on the live and he told the persons that he was giving them a stipulated time because of who he threatened them basically. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you all today, with every part of my being, that was a lie. And I have evidence to back it up. And I told Daniel, don't play with me. I told him, because I don't even need to dig. You ever see somebody digging and their hands ain't get dirty? My hand don't get dirty to dig where you are concerned. And anybody at matter. But you made it so easy. But you know why Daniel went out and said that people stole 20,000 from him? Because he was trying to create a story and an excuse for persons that he was owing. And he needed to come up with something fast. And he understands how the service goes. He understands how policing goes. And he understands social media. So he went up on his social media profile and said, the money gets stolen, you know. So you know what I mean? You got to hold out for me a little longer, because that money that I had there, that was the money that I was going to use to pay you out and some other people. At countless times he has told persons, the investors set him up. He even told one person, the investors scam him. And I know Daniel is watching me, because Daniel is a fan of Straight to the Point. He's actually sat down and listened to previous videos before, because he's trying to figure out what my track record is like. Daniel, I could tell them the size of boxers you this wear. That's to tell you how much I know about you. I could even tell them how much time you pull your skin for the night. Remember, you come and you tell them, once you don't burn this skin. Why you coming to burn your skin for? I didn't even want to touch you. You see how you just look dirty. I've never seen somebody so shaken up by my presence, by me just parking up on the street. Didn't come out to talk to him. He immediately called his police partner. He called his police partner to probably try and intimidate me, not knowing that I'm unintimidatable. I fear nobody. I'm a law-abiding citizen. And I want to answer that question, Shamika. Because Shamika is asking, well, in fact, she's making a statement. I could never understand how people could give him all their money, or this money. You know, I could blame the government. But I don't want to join that train. But literally, the place is hard. People are trying to make it out here. I mean, I always say, anything that sounds too good to be true isn't true. It ain't good. But sometimes we do take risks, because if you feel that Mr. Island Platter is one, there's another scheme with persons in Western Union. And I got information that there are staff of Western Union that is facilitating this. But I'll get to them just now. Because what I want to do before I expose that in the public domain, I'm going to send Western Union a file with information, giving them the opportunity to destroy the rig and present their workers to fraud squad. Because Western Union would be able to state exactly who are the persons within the different locations that has been facilitating such. And it involves another company, Fraud, right through. Just like the fellow with the Anil Imports. For those of you who missed it, Anil Imports, a real owner, came on this program and he spoke. And he said he has nothing to do with it, and this is something that this man has been done before. But I tell you this, I will catch the man posing as Anil Imports. Just give me some time. But why Daniel has, and I want to be very honest, Daniel has been on my radar for the last year. Daniel has been on my radar for the last year. And I've been observing him for the last year. That's 12 months of observation and more. And what is the sad part is that a young man joining in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service at 2017, I wouldn't say his age, in 2017, the year of 2017, Daniel has 10 years of service under his belt. Join the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, undergo the training, and all you did with that training was to be a professional conman, a professional scammer, taking people's money without the intent of giving them it back. But Daniel, you'll pay. You'll pay. Daniel went live on his profile. When he went live yesterday, he went live yesterday. Let's play what he said. Let's play the Kankalang where he was telling people. Or let's share the live, you know. Or let's share the live. Let's play what he said on his profile. Went live. Talk up in the guts. You have it there? Talk. They call it talkie. But he really bright.
8 more to go with. But it have the people that genuinely only had $1,000 and your ad just come up on the TikTok and they say, hey, I wonder if it is this, go help my boy, and they invest in it.
Good.
And the attitude towards you owing people, it could be improved because you wouldn't like to be on my end. Yes, I mightn't be the most rowdy person.
Right, okay, so how did I deal with you exactly? What you're
I'm not saying that you deal with me no type of way, but you deal with me in the way that I am not seeing my $1,000 that I would like to get back.
Right, okay, so that way you're talking about. You're not talking about an actual reaction from me.
No.
Okay. Alright, so Marie, please message me and we would discuss your payment, right? Let me see if I can get somebody else as well, just to give me a small perspective. Just so that people don't think that you is somebody that I pay to come on here, you know how this thing going, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you do?
Anybody else who is a business partner and would like to I'm seeing some requests here, but I don't know. I don't actually know these people to say that I know them to be I know reason. Mr. Staledale, the lady would have identified that she joined the program maybe in December, right? So I don't know. You're talking about. I wouldn't let anybody on the live who joined in December. She joined in December. So again, be factual, right? Oh yes, by all means, we could take Dale on the live too. It doesn't matter. As if you know me, you would know that I am one of those people who you can disagree with once we are respectful. Right? Once we are respectful. But I don't know that they will actually join the live. I think he is more about social media exposure. That's fine as well. What do you mean, what I'm afraid of? What you talking about? I don't mean, what do you mean by what I'm afraid of? I'm not seeing any requests from you, if it's that you're talking about. Or I don't know if it's because yes, I know. Maybe they'll make. Well, I haven't seen him send a request. Once he send a request, I would accept him on the live. I have quite a bit. I have 8 requests here, but I don't know if any of these people are actually still on the live. But I'm not seeing any. I'm not seeing any. Okay, Shanice Tobias says she's on the line. Dale, I'm not seeing a request from you. I don't know why. Let me see if I can bring on. Let me see, I don't know. Alright, good. I think, Dale, I think I would have sent you request there. I don't know. Maybe you can check and see if you have it there. I could add Tobias. As I said, I am willing to have any conversation with anybody who could be respectful. But I was just trying to bring on Dale before her. I'm trying to bring on Dale, but I know. I've seen him. I've seen Jonathan George, Elijah. Okay, let's bring on Tobias then. Tobias, Shanice it is. Hi. Right, so as I said to the next person before, once I don't have an issue with you saying what you have to say. Once we could disagree, once at least it is respectful. And as I say, you could say,
well, disagreeing is if it is we ought to be normal, but we're not normal. We want to know when we get any money. That's the whole long and short of the story. Not the circles, not the run around. When will the money be paid out? That is what I want to know.
Right. So all the business partners of the island Pata that have outstanding funds will not be paid all at the same time. And for
well,
that,
my question to you is, send me 2 normal people. Send me 2 people you paid already.
Okay, and if I send you people that were paid already,
I want the people you paid already with a contact number, and I want to talk to them personal.
Would you believe that
I say, but I now tell you, send me the 2 people, just 2 with a contact, and I want to talk to them personal. Because at the end of the day, what you're saying not making no sense. You're just sounding redundant. You're going point A, point B, point B, point A, but you're not reaching to see what is happening with the money. That is all. Not just nobody. Okay, we don't want the 2. We want the 1 what was invested. Why you can't at least give back the 1 that was invested? We didn't even ask for extra. What is the issue?
Right. So as I now mentioned here, all of the partners will not be paid at the same time. You will have to WhatsApp, and an arrangement would be made for each person individually. And that is what we have always done. That is not that is not any secret. It is no secret that the Island Platter owes people. And it has never been a secret. And it has never been a secret that receipts were issued to people. So when somebody goes on a platform and posts receipts and all of that, that was never a secret.
But the thing is, what I think is, the reason why I say let me come up and talk to you direct is because you just do a lot of indirect. So you would communicate in days apart and cohesive to other people, whereas you're not being direct and forthcoming with people and the money. Now, money is a serious thing. Respectfully, that is exactly why the country is how it is, because people will take a chance and the place already hard as it is. Let me be so for real. Plenty of people without jobs, the place done already hard. So imagine you take your time to invest in something that you think will have a good turnover. You can't even make the turnover. Well, at least, the minimal you could do, at least, is pay people what they invest. And telling me that I wouldn't know when this one get paid and that one get paid, I don't want to know all of that. Two things. When I getting paid, and as I said, show me a couple of people that you paid before so that I could see you have some track record of even starting the process of even paying back people. And until that is not rectified, then all what you're saying to me sounds like a lie and it sounds redundant. You're not, it's just like a song like you're going in circles.
Okay. Now that is fair enough. But whether or not we should just simply be saying, talk to this one and see if they get paid, I don't know that is the best to. I think us having a conversation and sorting it out, I can agree with that. But simply saying, let me go and...
But you don't answer though. You don't reply though. You don't reply. And I think what happening to you right now is the mere fact that you're getting plenty traction on the negativity. Not even just about your business, but about yourself. And clearly, seemingly, watching you and how you does function, I would think that you probably don't want nobody to maybe run in your place and kick down your door. So you're trying now to control the narrative and the outcome of this scenario. When all you have to do is start to pay people, nobody.
Yeah, but what I'm saying,
10 people. Look, right? She's saying, right? She's saying she talked to 10. I not even choose the same 10 or the same 12 I would have spoken to. My question is, and it remains the same. You're saying you can't pay all people out one time? To show me 4 or 5 people at least, because you're saying that everything in the public light. If everything is in the public light, show me 5 people that could come right now and say, yes, he paid me out what I invested.
And you know that, and you know, and I'm gonna show you something, right? You know, even that would make the media as well. You know that, right?
But yet, tell you, I haven't seen one person to defend say, hey, no, I got paid out. Everybody's situation or scenario seems the same.
Know why? You know why? Because when it is those persons who made their reports, right? The people that did in fact made their reports and investigation was done. The persons that were paid had to be interviewed so that the investigation revealed that persons, business partners of the Island Platter, were paid, and there is an intention to pay that is very delayed. Let me ask you something.
I think you are one of... Sorry, let me just answer something you just say, right, about investigation and report and thing. 2 things you're coming off right now is like a liar that has no memory and doesn't remember, because it sounds like you're trying to concoct the story based on what I am saying as I go without even knowing anything, because it's not making no sense. And the other thing is you're sounding manipulative, but more so delusional, because you sound like you make up that in your brain and you believe in what you make up, and that real baffling. Because simple thing as I am saying to you, listen, now you listen to me, because honestly, this is the only time I really get to talk to you, because you don't answer. So you listen to what I say now. I am saying to you, we're not asking for the money additional. All we're asking for is the $1,000. How soon do you think that could be rectified? How soon? How fast? Is that $1,000? Could it reach in my account today? Because to me, a business is supposed to be functioning and operating. So taking out $1,000 to put in a personal account every day or every other day, let me just get your day grace in between things to probably purchase back goods and services. Why it is you couldn't start making payments in incremental, small payments, so that way it doesn't seem like a heavy load and it doesn't seem like a lot. Because it's not one or two people. I am saying I speak to so many people. She's saying she speak to 10 people. So like we just said, I done 20 people. And if 20 people at $1,000, that's already $20,000. That is a lot of money.
Right. And any of that you said, we denied, I denied.
Listen to what I'm saying, right?
No. What I'm saying.
No.
Because I'm saying, I heard what you said.
I never say you deny it, but not deny. But not denying it, and it have no results makes no sense. That's what I'm saying. So saying all of that makes no sense. That is just talk, money. That is just talk. I said I talk. Talking, but it's not making no sense. Let we come to a sensible agreement here. You're trying to feel like you could outsmart smart, but that what I say, and that is why the country is how the country is. Because people will take a chance with all, and then they just talk about small businesses and small businesses. People will take a chance with a small business, and this is the exact thing that is always be the outcome. It's always be some scamming ass man or some scamming ass woman or a scamming ass couple behind it, trying to scam people, saying it and okay, and any of those things was wrong, and any of those things was we're not saying all of that. We're saying when we get any money. That's what we are saying.
All right, so again, so then if it is all right, as I said to you, I gave you the opportunity to speak widely because I didn't want nobody to think that it's just one person I bring on here, right? So I heard what you said.
I just want to let you know this. I played all of that. I played all of that for a reason. We have it from start to finish. I tell you, Billing, I have a nice file and that. You always wonder why sometimes you see police officers, houses get shoot apart. You always saying a police get shoot or this one or that one. Don't feel like it's coincidence, eh? Don't feel it's just so. Don't feel that some of these police officers don't make them feel or don't feel like they was upholding the law and people want to kill them. I mean, that has happened too. But this is where it ends today. I had watch now. From start to finish, I have, I can put on the rest of things that I have. My information, and we don't just deal with information to just highlight on the media. A lot more is going to happen. And this is my call for persons that have not gotten in contact with me as yet. For those persons that have not sent me their information, I need you all to send those information as soon as possible. You can send the information to, we have numbers. You can send the information to 781-1065. You can send the information to 264-4762. That's 264-4762. And we've added a brand new number to our hotline, which I will tell you, I'll send it to the information today first. 762-9192. 762-9192. So we have the portal, so you have to send your receipts, send everything. And I need you all to, I know why I'm telling all you, I need it like yesterday. So if you all have time, you have people, you know people who have been a part of this, people who have suffered a part of this, you all need to send me the information and we'll deal with it accordingly. This is straight to the point. We're here live on Real TV. It's all be safe over the weekend. I have some stuff that I'm going to drop on the page, so make sure and follow us on TT Straight to the Point on Facebook, on TikTok, We just started the Instagram page a few days ago. So on Instagram as well. We're also on X. We're everywhere. Just look for us and we're everywhere. We're even on socials. We have a profile everywhere. All right? No, we're not on Tinder. So keep it locked to the best of the best. I'll see you guys on Monday, please the Lord. Stay safe, stay blessed. I'm out. And just remember, if you play with fire, you're gonna get burned.
Yeah. Straight to the point, we not beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From use the drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice. Yeah, straight to the point, we not beat round the bush. Straight to the point, yeah, we cut through the bush. From use the drama, truth in every voice. If you want real talk, this is your choice.
Views and opinions expressed in the preceding program were those of the hosts, guests, and contributors, and do not reflect